What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Eastside Fly. I'm Eric G, and right now we're just gonna be talking about why the Ravens are fraudulent and will not even be making the playoffs uh this year. And this is a bold statement, but I think it's the truth. I think that what we just saw on Sunday Night Football was a prime example of why Harbaugh is the worst coach in the NFL, and why until we get rid of him, Lamar will not win a Super Bowl, or at least until he leaves the Ravens. Because I think this is a sign for Lamar to not sign a contract and go get on a team that knows how to win football games. Because what I just witnessed was unacceptable, was outrageous, and something that has occurred way too much in the quote unquote Super Bowl window for the Ravens. So let's get into it as I show you what I mean. Basically, I mean, you look at the first quarter and not a lot is going on. You give up a touchdown on the first play. The defense looked terrible. Worst I've seen the defense look. They look undisciplined. They weren't getting pressure at all to the QB. Allen's sitting back there. He's got plenty of time to pass. He's relaxed. No pressure to the quarterback. They look undisciplined. And they just go down the field and get an easy touchdown. We come out and have just a god awful drive to start the game. I mean, you got to go get 7. You have to respond. Getting 3 is ridiculous. Then finally, you pick it up. You get 2 back-to-back touchdowns. Rushing tackle, a rushing touchdown, excuse me, for Henry, 1 for Lamar. They get a field goal. And right here's the change in the game. How the fuck are you that undisciplined to allow him to go out of bounds? They get a field goal because we didn't protect the sideline. All you have to do is not let him get a touchdown. There's 7 seconds left. And you give that up. Unacceptable, undisciplined coaching. Not to mention the failed special teams that we saw. They should have got the ball on the fucking 1-yard line on this final drive as we get later into it. But at this point, we had not kicked the ball far enough. We had really the only thing that was good was Loop's field goals. And I'm getting a little. I'm just the special teams all around. They're all coming to my mind. I don't remember exactly in which order. But the fact that you had somebody not kicking the ball far enough on special teams, you had a 35-yard return, 40-yard return to start the game. You had just terrible timing for all this to happen to. And that's the problem. Is that the special teams were bad all game. And it ended up coming to bite you because Luke missed the extra point at the end of the game. But either way, they don't play defense well. The team is defensively terrible. You can't stop the Bills one time when you needed to. They shouldn't have got that field goal. Then it's 24-19. The game should be over here. You're going into the fourth quarter. It's 25-40. The game should be over. And coaching, time after time, comes to bite them. Not saying that Lamar did anything wrong. He was 14-19, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. We scored 40 points and had a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter, and coaching destroyed that game. Why didn't we use our timeout sooner? The defense is tired on that last drive. You can see it. Call a timeout. The special teams that Harbaugh coaches were off for the whole game. This is on Harbaugh, 100%. And if I'm Lamar, I'm going, damn. 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 150 QB rating, put up 40 points, and then they give me a conservative play call at the end of the game to when we could have iced it out. I don't want to be here. That's what I'm looking at. He should absolutely go get a ring with anybody but this team because Harbaugh does not know what he's doing. And that's the problem, is that you give good teams a chance, they're going to beat you. And the Ravens, let me go back to this. The Ravens have a very difficult schedule. It's not easy for the Ravens. You get a kind of a layup, and then all of a sudden you got to play the Lions, then the Chiefs. You got to play a lot of good teams on this list. They're in a terrible position for the playoffs. This is why they didn't have home field advantage last year, because they lost 2 games that they had no business losing. They do this every year. And instead of fixing it and learning from their mistakes, they repeat the same processes, which is on the coach. Until they fix those problems, you're not going to win a Super Bowl. And they won't get rid of Harbaugh. They won't get rid of the problem. The one thing that's been consistent through this whole Super Bowl period, in which the team has looked unprepared, played bad, what have they not done? Or what have they not gotten rid of? The coach. That is the problem. He gets outcoached every time. Other coaches do things to keep their players in the game and let their players shine. Andy Reid, McDermott, and look, it showed today. It showed today. My expectations went from here to what I just saw. If we make the playoffs, I'll be happy. Because this is a hard schedule, and this team looks awful and is not coached well at all. So until I see something that's better, this team might not even make the playoffs. Let me know what you think in the comments. This was a rough one as a Ravens fan, but, the Bills just played better. They just played better. They stayed in the game. They coached better. They played better. Didn't have turnovers. Did what they needed to do to win. So, I will say, though, can we get rid of the fucking fan that hit the... Actually, I'll do a separate video on that. We're going to do a separate video on that tomorrow on the craziness of not even the game itself, but the fan interactions that were wild. I'll go into that tomorrow in tomorrow's video. But for now, let me know what you think about it in the comments. Am I wrong? Is it just one bad game? Or is this something we're going to see the entire season from the Ravens? Shout out to the Bills, though. Y'all got the win. Deservedly so, because we choked it away. And you took advantage of every opportunity. So hats off to the Bills for real. Yeah, anyways, see you on the next one. Peace.